If you're an NBA fan, it's hard not to notice the ongoing feud between the league's last two MVPs, Giannis Antetokounmpo and James Harden. It's that old school competitiveness we just don't see much of in today's more neighborly game, and fans are eating it up. But while Giannis is throwing jabs and crosses, Harden's swinging at air, and he kind of sounds like a disgruntled MVP runner-up who can't handle another superstar stealing his spotlight. You have to go all the way back to 2014, Giannis' second season in the league, to find the first example of the Greek freak getting under the Beard's skin.
You don't know what Giannis said for Harden to react that way, so in a way, Giannis started it.
Little did we know at the time, but that baby-faced 19-year-old was going to be pushing Harden for MVP awards a few years later. Harden took home the Maurice Podoloff Trophy in 2018. Yeah, I said the Maurice Podoloff Trophy. Everyone knows that's what the NBA's MVP award is called.
No, I didn't know that.
Anyway, he clearly felt he deserved to go back-to-back after averaging more than 36 points per game last season.
Fumbles it, steps back, there it goes, and there it goes!
Instead, Harden finished second in MVP balloting for the third time in 5 years, and the Beard seems to be sick of always playing the bridesmaid. It appears another second-place MVP finish and another postseason participation award played into Harden's frustration heading into the offseason, because the real root of the modern feud seems to have started with these comments last summer.
I was pissed off when the MVP went down. And they didn't give I swear to God, I turned my TV off and I said, it's politics, man.
I think once the media, they create a narrative about somebody from the beginning of the year, I think they just take that narrative and then run with it the entire year.
Fast forward to the first meeting of this season between Harden and Antetokounmpo, when Harden trolled Giannis' shaky jumper after this memorable airball.
In the playoffs, and someone just opened the door as Antetokounmpo shot a three from the top of the key.
Antetokounmpo remained silent through the early stages of the season, but perhaps emboldened by the fact his Bucks have run away from the pack and he's practically lapped the field in another MVP race, the Greek freak has started to throw some jabs of his own. First, he pretended like Harden's name wasn't even on the board in the All-Star draft.
I'm between Kemba, Trae Young.
Wait, you don't want the dribbler?
I want somebody that's gonna pass the ball. That's what I want.
Then he torched Harden again in explaining his All-Star team's offensive strategy after the game.
Offensively, we were just trying to, find whoever, James Harden was guarding. That's who we thought we were gonna have an opportunity to score on.
Finally confronted with all of Antetokounmpo's barbs in a sit-down with Rachel Nichols, Harden responded with an absolute scorcher of a hot take.
I average more assists than him, I think. I don't see what the joke is, but I wish I could just run and with 7 feet and run and just dunk. Like, that takes no skill at all. I gotta actually learn how to play basketball and how to have skill, I take that any day.
All right, for one, Giannis is actually listed as 6'11", not 7 feet. But that's besides the point. Look, Harden's correct in pointing out the flaws in Antetokounmpo's argument. Of course Harden passes. He's one of the game's most gifted playmakers in addition to being the most prolific scorer of his generation. And he consistently creates the highest quality looks at the rim and from the corners for his teammates. But it's hard to take anything he said here seriously when he finished the thought with such foolishness. Harden went for the knockout with a haymaker, but fell flat on his face like the unlucky defenders he often brings to their knees.
Johnson, and then he hits the three. Wow.
Anyone worth their salt in basketball IQ knows there's a hell of a lot more to Giannis' game than just running and dunking. Sure, the Greek freak is nearly unstoppable getting to the rim, but he's also become a high-level playmaker who averages nearly 6 assists and 14 rebounds in only 31 minutes per game. Not to mention, he's the best defensive player on the best defensive team in basketball right now, dominating both ends of the court for a team on pace for 70 wins and one of the biggest point differentials in NBA history.
Saw him finish through contact.
Giannis hits the three.
Just as Giannis knows better than to insinuate Harden's a non-passing ball hog, the Beard is too much of a basketball savant to actually believe Antetokounmpo's game isn't made of transcendent skill. Fans should be able to marvel at the talent of both stars. And too many critics waste time complaining about the aesthetics of Harden's dribble-happy, foul-baiting game.
He dribble, and then shoots a step back three.
Instead of appreciating his defense-bending greatness.
Harden, inside layup, count it, and one.
But you also have to acknowledge that other than maybe King James and Kawhi Leonard, the Greek Freak is in a league of his own right now. And while both he and Harden made some obviously pointed comments about each other, Harden's come out as straight up delusional. This type of superstar feud is exactly why the NBA remains the undisputed content king of the sports world.
And rejected by Giannis.
And one refreshing component of this particular beef is that unlike the social media driven who's tougher than who type beefs we usually encounter, Harden vs. Giannis is about basketball.
Under 2 to play. Harden, step back, puts up the 3, got hit, shot's good!
Circle March 25th on your calendars and hope for some fireworks in that final matchup of the season. If it's as juicy as it could be, it won't just be Bucks and Rockets fans hoping for a Milwaukee-Houston finals come June. Thanks for watching. If you liked this video and want to see more content like this, be sure to hit that subscribe button.